Okay, so it's been about a week since I started working on my first full stack project, and I started on the back end because it's not something I've done before, and I wanted to kind of build the project around learning how to do that. But what the project is it allows for users to manage their own list of albums, and that can be posting to it or getting query results of different albums from different specifications that they have on their list. And I think first we should take a look at what the data structure looks like. I've already loaded two dummy accounts in here to kind of show what it looks like. But users.json is where we hold all of our information about the users, and it's an object where each key is a username, and each value is an object with all the useful information about the user that we need for validating things like logins and stuff. So it has the username, it has the hashed password that we can compare with the password they give us with bcrypt, and then an object containing all the roles that they have permission for. For albums.json, it's another object where each key is a username again, and each value is a list of objects where each object represents an album they have on their list, which has an ID, which is in the order of when they added them. It has the name of the album, it has the artist, it has their personal rating, and then this is the coolest part. It gets the year and a picture of the album cover from a huge database of albums. I think I have like 107,000 on here that get scraped by a web scraper that I made separately that I might show off some other time. But that's just kind of supplementary to what I'm showing off today. But what I'm going to do to kind of show off what this does is I'm going to open up Thunder Client and simulate making my own account. So the first thing you have to do here is localhost. We have to register a user, and then because it's modeled after REST API conventions, you have to pass all the information in a JSON body. So this is me making an account, and I'm going to use my username. And I don't have a great use for user roles yet, so what I have right now is simply just when I make an account with my usernames that I use for most websites, it will give me admin privileges, and I'll show you what that means later, but it's not much. So successfully created account, and we can see reflected in these two databases is my account has the role admin, and though it doesn't have anything in it because I haven't logged anything yet, I have my own list of albums. And this uses sessions to allow for this stuff, which is really cool, because the way sessions work is when you make the first contact with the server, which would be logging in, right? It will modify request.session, which is tied to each client, where the client is like an instance of the front end working. So like a different person logging onto their computer from wherever around the world, right? But the first time you log in, this will modify the session, and then anytime you try to modify your anytime you try to modify your list of albums, the first thing that it's going to do is check to see if you have a session, and if you don't, it's going to say you're invalid. So just to demonstrate that, I made my account, I have not logged in. If I try to create an album, which is the path for this, just the default post, it's going to tell me I'm not authorized. So first we have to log in user, with all this stuff, and I'm successfully logged in. And what that means is that I can now post an album. Oh, my bad. I don't mean to do that. I can now post an album, and I'm going to put in, I just had this pasted, but this is the format it accepts. Wall socket by underscore is one of my favorite albums of the year, but I post it, and then you can see I only gave this, but it compared it against the database and found all this stuff. But if I go to albums.json, this exists now. And again, if I click this, this is the album cover for it, which I think is really cool. So I'm just gonna real quick add a few more just to kind of show off what this can do. I'm gonna add a couple car seat headrest albums just because there's a couple query features that have to do with albums from the same artist, just so I can demonstrate that. Let's do, and then let's see. Okay, so we have 4 albums in here now. If we go to albums.json, one thing you'll notice is that it actually sorts the albums by rating. It goes from highest rating to lowest rating, and whenever there's a discrepancy in rating, like if it's the same, it'll settle it by alphabetizing it by the album name. Um, but for example, let's say I want to now get, let's say, find by artist, and let's say the artist is going to be car seat headrest. It will return. Oh, hold on. That may have been the find by artist, not art. Okay. It will return me a list of the objects of albums by that artist. Similarly, if I do find by name and then make the name, something that's in my list. I guess for demonstration, I'll say something that's not in my list. Let's do like, I don't know. That's the artist. That's not the name. If I do a mismatch, it'll tell me it's not found in the database. But if I do wall socket, which is in the database, it will return that to me. Let's see, what else can I do? If I want to delete an album, I can also do that. I can do delete by name. Name is equal to wall socket, and then I go back to albums.json, and it's not there anymore. And so the thing about admin, and this is the only purpose I have for the admin account currently, which is whatever. I'll probably come up with something later. But if I want to delete user, and to delete the username, you have to pass your password. But let's type this stuff in. I think I did. Sample 22. If I do this, it'll actually tell me I can't delete my account because I'm an admin. So what I'm going to do, just to show that it works concurrently, if I'm going to log out user, I'm logged out. It destroys the session, which means the cookie that was passed to let me do things doesn't work anymore. But if I were to then log in as one of those other dummy users I made, so like dummy user 5, and I just made his password dummy pass 5, which is fun, I guess. So I'm in to this account now, and just to show that that is indeed the case, and I can modify it, delete by name. Let's see what's in the database for dummy user 5. Dummy user 5. So this stuff. Let's delete 10 by Pearl Jam. And then you go back, and because I switched, it found it and deleted it. It's not there anymore. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually delete dummy user 5's account and show what that looks like. So if I want to delete user, I have to pass his information. But I do that, account successfully deleted. Users.json is completely gone. Albums.json, it's completely gone. So that's pretty much all I'm able to do with this right now. But for someone who did not really know much about Node like 10 days ago, I'm really happy with where it's at, and I hope you found this interesting. Thank you.